Hey, Treasure History. Welcome back to Unit 10 Review. Today's essential question is, what was the Neolithic Revolution? So pause and copy that question at the top of your page. Make your paper look like this, so you have 4 boxes. Awesome. So yesterday we talked about push and pull factors. Show me that you can crush this push and pull factor question right here, right now. Good. That shows me that you've mastered that skill if you got this question correct. Let's try this primary and secondary sources question. Awesome. So let's jump into our key points. During the Paleolithic Age, which was also called the Old Stone Age, people found food by hunting wild animals and gathering wild plants. For the most part, this was dangerous, and it didn't really provide a stable food supply. You just never knew if you were going to find that buffalo and be able to kill it that day. If you were having an off day, your family would go hungry that week. Same with gathering plants. What if you had already picked all the berries in that area? You'd go hungry, and you'd have to move your entire tribe to a new area. Hunter-gatherers used what they could find in nature for food, clothing, and shelter. This meant animal skins, bones, stones, and branches for shelter. No such thing as cotton or other fabric for clothing. People wore fur and animal skin. Sharp sticks and rocks were used for tools, which is why this was called the Stone Age, stones for tools. Let's summarize that information with key point 1. Hunter-gatherers used what they could find in nature for food, clothing, and shelter. Pause if you need more time to copy that key point. Some of the danger and uncertainty that hunter-gatherers faced went away with the big change that happened around 10,000 BCE. At that time, the Ice Age was ending, and Earth was warming up. As the Earth warmed, the climate became more temperate, and the soil became more fertile. From earlier in the year, we know that both of those are great conditions for farming. Large animals like woolly mammoths died off, and small animals, like the pigs that you see here, flourished. People started to learn that instead of looking for the plants that they liked, they could actually take the seeds from these plants and put them in the dirt. They learned this by paying attention to the way that plants grew in nature. Let's summarize that key point with this sentence. The Earth's climate warmed up and became better for farming. Let's move on to key point 3. This was the big change. People started to farm instead of hunting and gathering. This big change is known as the Agricultural Revolution. Revolution means a big change, and agriculture means farming. Go ahead and summarize that key point. The Neolithic Revolution was a slow change over time from hunting-gathering to farming. I say slow because I don't want you to think that this all happened at once. Instead, it happened over a period of thousands of years. The best thing about farming was that now people didn't have to be nomads anymore. Over time, they learned to build houses and other permanent settlements. People began to stay in one place instead of moving around. Instead of following their food, they stayed put, right near the crop fields. With the extra plants and domesticated animals, people began to have a surplus of food. Now, not everyone needed to look for food all the time, like hunter-gatherers used to do. People had free time, like this guy. Instead, some people could farm, and other people could do other jobs. They weren't worried about starving because there was extra food supply, and plus, there were people who were farmers that would make sure that everybody else had food. So human communities began to have musicians and artists and priests and merchants. This division of jobs that you see here was called specialization. So let's summarize that key point here. Agriculture led to surplus or extra food and specialized jobs. One other thing that we didn't say yet is that the agricultural revolution caused more babies to be born. Think about it. More plants were available and there was surplus food because of all the crops people had. More meat was available because of all the animals that humans were now keeping, like cows, chickens, horses. So because of that, the human population grew by a ton. Please X out of this tab, close your computer, and begin to work on your iLeap review packet. Remember, the more correctly that you get done in class, the less homework that you have tonight. Get started.